first and foremost, I give all glory and praise to Ahaya, Asha Ahaya Bahashim Yeshaya, Wakwadash Wak. This is the women's class, and we're talking about healing, learning how to heal, and learning how to love again. So that is the premise of these classes, preparing people who are coming into the wilderness to get prepared for the journey, and for purging ourselves so that the Most High don't have to really purge us too much if we start to purge and heal. Okay, and the class, today's class, I wanted to focus on jealousy. And that's going to be the premise of the class today. And I want to say that we have talked about a lot of things as far as the women classes: pure thinking, having a pure heart, virtuous woman, learning how to love again, and those kind of things. So, and I want us to get into a deep discussion about jealousy, because this is a problem in the African American community, really women worldwide. But before I go into it, I want us to pray. So, if sisters, I ask that you have your head covered, and we all know how important us covering our heads, especially in this time as the days of Noah, and also for the men, I ask that you have your head uncovered if there's any men watching. But this is for the women, and we don't mind if men watch and listen or whatever. But okay, so please stand and face the east if you're in Babylon, and for those outside, face Jerusalem. Okay, and I'm gonna pray. Okay, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kwadash, Haya, Shekam, Ahaya, Malak Wafka, Taba'a, Ratazawanka, Hawa, Aisha, Ba'abataza, Kawahaya, Bashamaya, Nathan Nanawa, Lakam Kayawan, Wasalak now, Kawawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawaf Yanawa, Wala'a Tabiyanawa, Binasayawam, Abal, Hawashanawa, Mayara, Kayalaka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La Awalamyam, Ama, glory and praise to Hayabash, Shaya. Now I'll say it in English. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Bless the name of Haya. Okay. Okay, so now today's topic is jealousy. And I really think this is a very important topic, but I think all topics, pertaining to scripture and how we're supposed to be are important. So I just want to go into this now. I get a lot of, I talk to a lot of different sisters, and, sisters, always, talk to me and confide in me. So I don't want to, in no way, I'm not talking about anyone in specific, and, this is just an overall general topic. Jealousy amongst the daughters of Zion. Now, mind you, I'm only talking about sisters who know the truth. I mean, we know what Babylon is dealing with, and we know what the spirits and the sorcery, because Revelation 18 is very clear on every foul spirit and uncaged demon is in that place. So we understand what we went through coming off the curses. And now it's time for us to heal. So I'm directing this towards the daughters of Zion, those who know the truth, those who are calling on the name of Ahaya, who keeping the correct holy days and doing things according to the law, and plan on coming out of Babylon to go in the wilderness. So this is what I want to focus on. Okay, so I find that I had talked to a lot of sisters, and there's a lot of sisters are still complaining. Most of the sisters, mainly single sisters, speak about this, about jealousy and envy amongst the daughters of Zion when they try to come and congregate with sisters who are part of different gatherings on feast days and different things. That there's a spirit, a horrible spirit, the same Babylon spirit that we've been dealing with in Babylon, where sisters can't seem to get along. They backbite, they don't like each other. But what has mainly been the issue that was brought to me is that when sisters come to gather amongst Israel at these particular meetings and gatherings and feast days and holy convocations, the sisters who are married will give them such a hard time, evil stares, bad attitudes. They don't address the sisters. Now, and I was shocked. I was like, well, how could this be? When you're dealing with the daughters of Zion, these sisters who know the truth, why are they acting like that? And these sisters are coming and saying, sister, I don't know. There's no spirit of Christ among these sisters. They don't care. If you come there and you're single and you come to these congregational feast days and things like that, this is the attitudes that they're getting from other sisters who are in the truth. Yes, I was shocked. And I'm talking about, I've been getting this kind of information for the last 2 or 3 years of talking about these kind of situations when they come amongst other sisters in the truth, when they have to meet with them. And because they're single, and these sisters who are married, when other sisters got to come and be around the men, they get evil looks. Sisters have attitudes. They start acting like they have, like they done did something to these sisters. So I said, this is something that has to be addressed because it's all part of us learning to heal and learning to purge of these Babylonian spirits. Now, I'm not saying only black women feel this way. I'm saying that all women, and we've learned it from Esau, because there's no people that's more jealous and envious than we know Esau and the other nations. The women are just as bad. But as daughters of the Zions and who's supposed to know this truth, we should not be dealing with these issues. And everyone wants to act like that this is a thing, that we just got to deal with because we're women. And I'm saying no. It's not going to be that way because the Most High said in the scriptures that we will be in peace, that it will be love and kindness, and none of these spirits, and I'm going to say they're demonic spirits that we are dealing with now, can we take with us going into the kingdom. You can't bring them with you. So we're going to have to learn how to get past these issues. Okay, we're going to go into the scriptures and talk about what jealousy is and where it stems from. And first, let's start with the meaning of jealousy and, what it means to be jealous. So when you just go into the regular dictionary, it says jealousy is the feeling or showing of an envious resentment of someone, of their achievements, possessions, perceived advantages. Okay, another meaning is feeling or showing a resentment, suspicion that someone's partner is attracted to or involved with someone else. That's jealousy within marriage, I guess. And then the fiercely protective of one's right or possession. Okay, so that's the meaning of jealousy according to the regular dictionary. Now, when you go into the Strongs and you look up jealousy, it says zealous, that is in a bad sense, jealousy, envious, to be moved, provoked to jealousy. Okay, so that's the negative sense. And that's the jealousy that we deal with. Okay? And we're not supposed to be jealous. The Most High, it's a sin to act and be jealous. That the Most High does not ordain that at all. And we will go into the scriptures proving that. But I also want to give you the definition of jealous, because a lot of people like to say, well, the Most High is jealous, and that we just take on the same attributes as the Most High. But the Most High, when you go into the scriptures, it says that He's jealous with a godly jealous. So it's a different type of jealousy than what we deal with. He says His is a godly jealousy, and that's in, I think, Second Corinthians. Let me just double check. Second Corinthians 11 and 2. 2 Corinthians 11 and 2 tells us. Well, my computer is very slow. For I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. So here it's telling you that he is a jealous power, and he does get jealous, but he has a godly jealousy. It's not the same as when we are jealous, and we not supposed to act and move on jealousy. And so people tend to use, that the Most High said he's a jealous power, and that he, is jealous, that we are, it's all right for us to be jealous. When you go to Exodus 34 and 14, it says, "For thou shalt worship no other God, for the for Ahiah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God, or jealous power." So here he's telling us that he is a jealous power, but you have to precept it to 2 Corinthians 11, and where he says that he has a godly jealousy. So we're not supposed to use that as an excuse, like we can be jealous and do and act on jealousy. Now, because that jealousy spirit is a very evil spirit, and usually when a person is jealous, they will take on a whole nother spirit and other spirits, because then if they're jealous, they'll try to get revenge, on the person who they're seen jealous of. They'll do things, and don't let another person come in and get in their ear and say something. Then they're really going to really act on, more emotions, and do things even more wicked, because that's all they needed was a little fuel to the fire. So if somebody's jealous, and then you got someone who comes up with some information or anything to help fuel that jealousy, it becomes into a whole nother animal. And so, jealousy is, I equate it a lot to that homosexuality demon spirit, because it's the same kind of thing. If you just fuel a little bit of it, it'll take it to somewhere else. And so, sisters, if we have a bad demonic spirit amongst our sisters who are dealing with jealousy. And I wonder why brothers who are in this truth now, mainly I'm talking about people who are calling on a higher and are within the GOCC. This is what I'm talking about, because mostly this is who I deal with on some level or not. The sisters or brothers who contact me, they learn under the GOCC, they have dealt with the GOCC, they go. And so they go to these gatherings or these feast days and this and that, and this is what they deal with. These women are very, insecure over their marriages. They're jealous. They become upset. They don't, greet the sisters with love and kindness. They're not getting any of that if you come to these gatherings like that. And I find I was like, wow, I can't believe it, and I don't understand why brothers are not addressing these kind of things. And this is part of the reason why I've come to do these healing classes, because I know that in Babylon we used to deal with that spirit amongst, regular people who didn't know the truth, and before we woke up. But to come into the truth and still have to deal with these same kind of issues, there has to be something done. To the fact that we have to start talking about these issues, start verbalizing these things, so that we can grow and we can learn, how to, get around it and start getting past it, so we can work together. Because it seems like people just want to push stuff under the rug, act like everybody likes to deal on the level of ambiguity. Nobody sees nothing, nobody knows nothing, everybody's fine. But yet, these things are going on in our communities. We can't come together. And it's always on, and when we do come together, it's on a superficial level, because nobody wants to address what's really going on, until somebody kind of tells you, like, well, I don't really like to go gather among our people, because every time I go, I have to be dealing with, certain things. The sisters don't like me. They act like this, it's very cliquish kind of thing. And, unless you're a part of their clique, then you are not received very well. And see, these are the things that we're not going to tolerate here in Jordan. We come in here to purge, and we come in here to be a righteous people. So we can't start that kind of behavior amongst the sisters, or even amongst brothers, and kind of cliquish, and people just just act in a certain way amongst the people who they know, and yet there's no love and kindness and hospitality to people who are not, who are new among you, or who sisters who come into you and they're not married, and they shouldn't have to feel insecure or like they gotta sit still so that nobody noticed them, so the women in the room, the other sisters in the room, don't be jealous. You know, that's a horrible way to be, and to be jealous of another person is a horrible way to be and a horrible way to live. You know, and we need to really talk about these things, sister. So, listen, y'all know that I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. You know, so I want to really get down in these type of topics. You know, because I see people discussing these topics. They're reading the scriptures, but it seems like it's still you hear the scriptures. They're read to you. You probably reading them yourself, but no one is learning how to apply these things to your life. How do you apply this to your life when you read the scriptures that you know, no malice and jealousy and envy and covetousness and all these things will not make it into the kingdom. And yet you're dealing with an issue in your household with jealousy. And then you calling on the name of Haya, and you hoping Yeshaya comes, but yet you dealing with all kind of spirits and demons. Where does the connection come that you have to look and say, okay, I have to change. I have to change. And so this is where we have to get to, because people are reading the scriptures, they're going to classes, they're hearing people talking about the scriptures, but they're not applying the scriptures to their life. So that's why I want to speak about these kind of issues and bring it to the table. That sisters, we have to get ourselves together. I mean, it should not be that you are insecure when you're around your husband, that other sisters can't be comfortable with you in the room, or you know what I'm saying? What is that? Or if you come in and now a man, he's married to his wife, and y'all at a function, and she's in the kitchen slamming stuff around, putting stuff down. She has an attitude because she didn't like the fact that her husband engaged in a conversation with a sister who was needing some information. This has to stop. And brothers need to be held accountable to this as well, because brothers, just your wife has an issue with jealousy. That's a demon spirit on her. They're not addressing it. They're acting like it's normal. And even if she's embarrassing him in front of other people, when she acts like this and gets all upset over nothing, or starts moving stuff around and rolling eyes and just being you know undercover irate, to some degree, like everybody can see it, but they act like it's not going on. Brothers have to address it. They have to take care of their households and deal with their situations. Sisters have to get a hold of themselves and understand that that's a demon spirit that you're dealing with if you're jealous over another woman, or any woman in that comes into the vicinity of around your man, and you feel insecure. We have to go into the issue of insecurity and why are women insecure. We have to go into the issue of men doing things to make their women jealous. Some men like to make women jealous. They do that thinking that because she gets emotional and she acts a little crazy, that constitutes love. That means she loves him. And what scripture is that? And the Most High in Christ is not condoning that kind of behavior. We have to start dealing with these issues, because people cannot come together and have healthy relationships when these kind of things are going on. These people need marriage counseling, and we give marriage counseling, but these things need to be addressed and talked about on a day-to-day basis, so that people can be held responsible for their sorry guys, I try to turn my mouth up really loud so that I'm doing class, brother, so you got to call me back. I try to turn my mic up really loud so that you can hear me, but in that Okay, so let me finish. Yeah, so we have to go into these things and talk about it because sisters seem to think that it's okay to act like this, and then they feel justified, and then men make excuses too. They be like, well, she's just she's taking her care of her man, or she this and this and that. It's unhealthy if you married a whoremonger, a man who is not based in scriptures and he's acting out of control and he's doing things. You're gonna have to deal with your man, and you're gonna have to deal with the issues in your marriage and try to work that out. There's no need for you to take out your frustrations on other women. And see, that's what a lot of sisters like to do. They won't address the man. They rather try to, because it's a pride thing. They try to act like, oh, everything is okay. I'm good. Everybody's good for saying, I'm good, I'm good. But yet, they're insecure, they're jealous, they're enraged half of the time because of the situation. But they will not let their man know. They will not let the man know. And what they will do is take it out on other women. So they'll get very upset if a sister, a nice looking sister will come into a situation, into a room, they have an automatic attitude. What kind of spirit is that? That other sisters can't even come around you in your house or your friend's house or anything without you looking with sisters up and down, and then kind of like rolling your eyes, and just that's a demon spirit. And brothers need to start casting out those demons in their households so that we can learn and understand that it's not healthy, it's not of Christ, and that it has to be dealt with. You know, and so I'm just want to get back on what how brothers try to you know fuel the fire sometimes, because a lot of men are insecure. They like to play games with women, and so they like to make their woman jealous or see her get mad or da da da. That is a spirit, brothers, and those kind of things need to be addressed among the men. Men need to start having certain dialogues as of that, to how they are to conduct themselves, how they are to keep their household in order. Because if your wife is jealous and insecure, your household is not in order. No matter how much cooking and cleaning she's doing, if it comes to a point where she can't be around other sisters unless she feels comfortable, unless their man is right next to them or something like that, your household is not in order, and you need to fix that situation, because there will come a time very soon that we will be in the wilderness together, and we will have to deal and operate amongst each other on a day-to-day basis. And if these demons start flaring up, it's not going to be a good thing. So I want to talk about these type of situations, because sisters always try to act like, oh, they good, they're okay, and I find that the better looking women are usually the worst victims of this, because then they think that because they have good looks, that should mean that their man should act a certain way, and when the man doesn't act a certain way, then that is like their pride is out the window, and all Hades breaks loose, in a situation. So I can't tell you how many, conversations I had with this different sisters about these scenarios where they come to be amongst Israel, come to a feast day, and they happen to be single, so they come, and the women who are married literally not verbally attacking them, but if the eyes can kill, that sister would be gone right there on the spot, because they sisters are so insecure and jealous, they can't have another woman up around their men, and this has got to stop. And so I'm gonna say it again. It is, and I'm mainly talking about Israelites who know the truth, calling on a higher, keeping the holy feast days within the GOCC community, congregations. They don't address these issues. They allow these sisters to act this way. It's demonic spirits that they're taking hold of. And so if your wife has a demonic spirit, that means you have a demonic spirit as well, because the two flesh become as one. So you're operating as one. So if your wife has a spirit, you have one too. And so this is why things are not, being spoken about. Things are not being taught. People are not growing and evolving and trying to heal in Christ and learn how to be Christ-like, because nobody's addressing any issues. No one's getting any counseling. No one's not acknowledging that they have a problem. And I personally have dealt with sisters. Sisters come off as sweet as pie. Oh, we love you, Sister Kana, and da 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 da. And after a good week or two, this is a demon. They're practically hissing and growling under their breath. They angry. You can see it in their face because their husband, wanted to interact and be regular, but the woman cannot handle it. Brothers, you're gonna have to deal with your wives with these issues because brothers want to operate normal. They want to, be able to talk to whoever they want to, and they do that. And I know behind closed doors they gotta be having some discussion, but it's obviously not being cleared and taken care of where the woman is feeling secure. You understand? She is seething underneath to the point where when sometimes sisters will come to me, they want to talk counseling. They breaking down crying, and they want they don't feel that their husbands this that and or whatever. The man is not really showing them and keeping them because a lot of brothers they have this thing where they don't give their woman so much love and attention because they don't want her to think too much of herself, which is a bunch of madness. How can a man think like that about his wife when Christ said, "Love your wife like you love the church, like He loves the church," and we know how Christ loves the church. So for men to be taking on this kind of way and this kind of thinking on how they treat their wives, that's like how you treat your pet, your dog. You don't treat your wife like that. You show your wife love. You should give her compliments. You give her flowers. You take her out. You make sure she knows that she's secure so that when other women come around, she don't have to be rolling her eyes, sucking her teeth, and banging on stuff in the kitchen to let you know that she doesn't like what's going on. You understand? So these are the kind of things that discussions I have, personally with different sisters, and I understand. Oh, okay. She's saying that she can't hear me. Okay. All this talking I done did. Okay. Let me try to. Can you hear me now? Are you hearing me now? I don't know. You still can't hear me? I mean, this thing is up loud, but I'll turn it up even louder. I pray that you can hear me now. Okay, so you can't hear me, so I done talked and talked and talked and talked. And basically, for those of you who could not hear me, um, Sister Ikara, can you let me know if you can hear me now? And did you hear anything that I was saying? I was talking. I was getting it in. Can you let me know if you heard me? And this thing is gonna be so loud. Sister Ikara, can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear a thing on Ustream. Oh no. Okay, so hold on. Let me pause. Let me stop recording, save it, and then let me refresh. Okay, hold on. Be right back.